All right, man. Let's talk about Trey Murphy. Pelicans say everybody's available. I dig into some more players. We talked about McCollum, Zion, and company and shit. But Trey Murphy is a guy that a lot of Piston fans like. Similar to Cam Johnson, 3-and-D guy. Do I think the Pistons need more of another scorer? Yeah, they need another guy to get a bucket. But and they already got those type of guys in the mix. When you start talking about Jaden Ivey, Malik can score a little bit. Sasser maybe can score. They give him a chance. But I still think their number one thing is they just need somebody that can go get them a bucket. That's all they missing. Somebody besides K that can get them a bucket. But Murphy's a good guy. You're gonna ask him to come in and do what Tim Hardaway Jr. did, what Malik Beasley did. Gonna defend your position, take pride in defending your position. And once you take pride in that, you're able to catch and shoot those open shots. Now, can Trey Murphy get away with playing the 4? I know he got long arms. I think you might can get away with him playing the 4, so that can be a potential Tobias Harris replacement. I think you might can get away with him playing that 4 position. And what you need him to do is knock down them shots, defend his position, rebound a little bit. But I like it. Cam Johnson, he played a lot of 4 in Phoenix. Thinner frame guy, but how rangy he is, he's a defensive problem. Reactive, so I think Trey Murphy, longer arms, maybe not as twitchy as Cam Johnson, but thicker, you know what I'm saying? No more, strong, and I like his game a lot, so seen him do an interview. It seemed to be a good guy, bro, so seemed like it'd be a great transition into the locker room. I think, like I said, Cam Johnson would be a great transition to the locker room. Devin Booker would be a great transition into the locker room. You know what I'm saying? I think Trey Young will be a great transition into the locker room. There's a lot of guys I think that'll be a great transition, but Trey Murphy might need to shoot up their list. I think Nas Reed would be too. I think Trey Murphy might be shooting up that list. His ability to catch and shoot, rebound, Joe D being over there. So there, he do have a disdain for Tom Gores though, but Joe D is probably the greatest Detroit Piston of all time. And I mean, there's an entire career, from his longevity to his NBA Finals MVP to his time here, lifetime Piston, what he did as an executive too. And now he's always held himself to a high standard. You ain't never heard Joe Dumars no scandal. Great dude. Isaiah Thomas, the greatest Piston of all time, but overall in the organization history, it's probably him. So, but yeah, man, I think hell yeah, Trey Murphy. Fuck yeah, that's perfect pickup for the Pistons. Guys that fit where you're going, fit in that locker room, 3-and-D, you can 3-and-D, shooting, wow, that's what you need. There you have it. Now you will be asking if you just rock, you keep Ivy them, you asking Ivy, look here, dude, we need you to score. Defend and score. Or Asar Thompson, we need you to start shooting that ball a lot better. Ivy already made that transition. He already shooting the ball. He's shooting the ball. So now for Ivy, it's about just putting it together as a score. He can do that. Let's worry about, protecting the ball when we finishing at the rim. Let's worry about, instead of going to the rim, let's get a floater going. Let's get a 10 to 15 going. And once he get that in-between game and he can learn to protect the ball and go up strong and finish without turning it over, it's over with. That's just the last point of his game. His ball protection, you know what I'm saying? And his in-between game. Harnessing that speed, once he figure out, hey, I pump fake at the 3, I dribble in and just take a 10 to 15 footer. And K, SGA, Jalen Brunson is the key. They make the mid-range game cool again. They making it sexy again. And that's what Ivy kind of got to join that crew. Like I said, I think Tony Parker is a great guy for Jaden Ivey to go train with. He gonna show you how to fuck them hoes, though. I'm telling you that about Tony Parker. Tony Parker clapped cheeks on the regular. Mr. Steal Your Girl. But outside of that, Parker was the same athletic, super duper athletic guy. Insanely athletic. But he learned to hit that 10 to 15. He learned to harness his speed, get that floater going. You know, once he got that middle range game going, his inside game, he was scoring he was the highest point scorer in the paint, amongst the highest point scorer for a few years. And then he started to drag his range out the three-point land. Ivy got the three-point shot. It's the developing the rest. So I think Tony Parker would be a good guy to go pick his brain. You know, good guy. You know. But, you know, with Trey Murphy, hell yeah. You know, and everybody in Detroit biting down defensively. That's the thing about it. They biting down. And when you Indiana, Oklahoma City, you them small markets, the Hawks, Memphis, when you those type of teams, you got to win a championship playing defense. You got to have some of them intangibles. Desperate, scrappy, dirty, blue collar. You know, when you're in a small market, you got to have those traits about you. You know, can't be flashy. You see Phoenix for years with Steve Nash be flashy and all that shit. No. Nasty. You gotta kick your way. You gotta kick the door down. They're not gonna open the door for you. Matter of fact, they gonna hold the door. They're gonna be blocking the door, so you gotta kick it in. Can't be like centers asking to come in, or you gotta kick the door in. In every championship that the Pistons won, they kicked the door in. That championship that Dallas won over Miami, they kicked the door in. The first one, they robbed them. I don't even want to talk about that. They robbed them in that first one. D-Wade took 1,000 free throws. You got to kick the door in. Unless you LeBron, Michael, Magic, Bird, players like, man, you got to kick the door in. You got to kick the door in. When you're a small market team, that got to be your mentality. Memphis was there. Memphis had them. They was just missing that Kevin Durant, this part, like right there at that point, and they just, you know, when Ja went left, they went left. But hey, it is what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And the subscribe button is the bell icon button. I appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Hit the link tree. It's the first link in the description. You can find me where I'm producing content at. But other than that, man, let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out the Trey Pistons Talk playlist. Peace.